So why is it important to choose a great supervisor or find a great supervisor? Sometimes we call them advisors, sometimes we call them supervisors. It just depends on where you are, from what I understand. I don't think that there's really a consensus. So the reason why is graduate school, whether you're doing a master's degree, so that's an MBA, like a research-oriented MBA, or a PhD, where these are very, very long time, or these are sort of moments in your life where it's going to take a long, long time. There's also very much a grind. It is really tough to do. You're going to be grinding away at something. So you need somebody that's going to help you and pick you up when you are down, because it's a really difficult time. That there is a lot of downtime with it in terms of mentally, right? It's tricky. The second thing that's so important, the reason why you want a great supervisor, is that they're going to help you get a career and push you in a research direction that is A, not only useful, but B, is going to be sort of a hot topic in the marketplace where you can actually get a job. And that is so important when you do graduate school, that you need to get that job. You need to actually get out there and earn some money after you've spent 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in graduate school. So how do you choose a great graduate school advisor? I think that there are 4 criteria. There's probably a lot more, but these are the really important ones. Number one, they have to fit with your interests. You have to find somebody that you find interesting, that they're doing cool stuff, that you are just excited about what they are working on. It has to be something that you could get charged up with for a long time, because that's probably something that you're going to be working on for, again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years and beyond that, right? So generally you can think of grandchildren, or you can think of sort of children's structure, where there is the parent, which is graduate advisor. Then they go sort of extend the research beyond that, and they become the children, and then they go and have kids, and the research is constantly getting extended beyond that. So you are going to be doing some research that is probably going to be an extension, and it's going to build on what somebody else has done. So you're going to be working with it for a very long, long time. So it's not just about choosing your graduate school supervisor, but it's choosing what you're interested in to work on for a long time. It's probably going to be, you can imagine that this is going to be a 10-year investment, at least a 10-year investment by the time you actually get any sort of returns from what you're working on. By the time you start getting some sort of notoriety or something like that in academia. And it's all about building this notoriety. If you don't know that, it's about building a particular reputation of doing great research in your little tiny area. And that's how it builds, right? You got to build up this sort of reputation over a long time. The second thing that you should be looking for that is so important is make sure you have the same research style. There is a lot of people out there to choose from. Supervisors and advisors are just like ordinary people. There's a broad spectrum of people that are sort of introverts, extroverts. There's people that are in between. There's all sorts of sort of value judgments and stuff like that everybody has, advisors have. And so there's like crazy ones, not crazy ones. It's all over the board. You have to go and you have to make sure you have to vet them to make sure that you are not going to or that they're going to fit your research style and who you are. So you really want to look for somebody like that is going to fit and sort of gel with what you're actually doing, what you're about. And that is tricky to do. Sometimes the way to build a relationship, about building a relationship, you probably want to go slow and sort of build that over time, right? So you maybe want to have a couple of meetings. You don't want to annoy the supervisors too early, because there is a lot of steps to go along the way before you actually become sort of useful for the supervisor. So you don't want to annoy them, but you want to make sure that you are vetting them and building a relationship with them somehow. Maybe you go and you help them out and see what the response is, right? So you go and you take some initiative and you go out and you just do something for them and see what the response is. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe you spend a weekend doing it and you try to help them out and say, hey, I built this data set for you, or, I did some extra analysis for you. I read your paper. I thought it was really cool. And I did a little bit of extra analysis. What do you think of this? That is how you're going to find a great supervisor. And then you could sort of look at their feedback from that. If it was like, oh, no response, or it was very negative response, then you know what? They're probably not a great fit for you. But if they're, gung-ho with what you're doing and they think it's really cool, then yeah, you know what? Maybe that's a great fit. Number 3, the thing that you should be doing is look to see where their students are placed or where their sort of research network is. So you look at where they did their PhD, who they're working with on a regular basis, who's their sort of research network, and where are the students placing. So it doesn't quite work with sort of newer assistant professors versus sort of full-time, full professors that have been around for a long time. But generally, you want to look at their track record. Where are the students placing in academia or industry? Where exactly are they going? Are they getting great jobs? Are they not getting jobs? Are they just kind of wandering off? You have to, do they have a lot of students? Are there lots of students wanting to work with them? That's what you have to look at, is all these different cues to see whether they actually are a great person to work with. And the number 4 thing that I think is really important, and you can actually get some feedback from it, is just academia is a really, really small world. It is really tight-knit. Everybody knows each other, particularly in a institution at a university. We all know each other. The other thing, in sort of the broader academic sense, the sort of broader university college, a lot of people know each other. They can tell you who are good advisors, and they'll say, hey, you know what, maybe you should go check out this person. You should listen to, especially if it's somebody that you really respect and they are doing well and stuff like that. That sort of referral is a great way to actually find out the people that are doing wonderful work. And so you can ask somebody that is, a superstar at one particular location, wherever you are, and you could say, where would you go for graduate school? Who would you work with if you can, find anybody in the world? And then you could sort of if they identify somebody that's amazing and, you initially get rejected from that relationship, they say, oh no, we're busy and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of relentlessly pursue them, right? You just keep working and building a relationship with that particular person. It's kind of like dating. It's really what it's like. You're trying to identify somebody. And then at that time, when you're building that relationship, you're trying to figure out, whether, is this person great to work with? Is this person are they easy to work with, and all that kind of stuff. So that's all I wanted to say. Those 4 things. Fit is important. The research style, what they're about, and look where they're being placed, where graduate students are being placed. And then finally, look at, ask for referrals is totally legitimate. It's totally, it's okay to do.